Hello, sir.
Good day.
How's it going?
Pretty nifty.
Nifty? That
Mhm.
sounded really enthusiastic.
And things are awesome. Things are so good. Thank you for asking.
So not.
Things are fine.
What's fine?
I didn't die in my sleep.
That's good.
Yep.
That's bonus.
Nor did I have a massive stroke or coronary event during my workday.
That's good.
Yeah.
Pretty low bar.
Well, I've strung together a pretty good streak here so far. Many, many days and years of never having that happen.
45, no, 25 million seconds, give or take.
Just give or take, hey.
That's a quick math in my head.
Zero chance you did math. You read that somewhere and associated it to the closest number.
No, I was talking the other day because Willow was in the room. I'm like, you've been here for 50 million seconds or minutes. 50 million minutes. And she's like, no, Mom, that would be at least like a year or two. And then I'm like, I don't think so. And we started doing the math. Yeah, it's in the 90s, like 90 some years.
So 45 million, whatever you said, you roughly estimated my age to be in the 80-year range?
No, half of 93, half of 90 to 100 is you.
That's me. That whether yeah,
So I just split 50 million minutes in half. So 25 million minutes you have not had a heart attack or died in your sleep. It's a lot of minutes.
that is a lot of minutes. Just like this conversation started, I feel like a lot of minutes.
Oh man. So yeah, with age, I'm doing this amazing workout, supplementary to my normal workout,
So bonus workout?
a bonus workout.
Oh, okay.
Because the normal workouts, I don't think we're built to do. I don't think humans are supposed to do normal workouts.
Okay, I'm interested now. I like where this is going as a guy that hasn't consistently worked out in a long time.
Well, it's like
I too agree that we're not built to work out. Tell me more. I think we're built for buffets, just cruising around in comfortable chairs with wheels.
well, if we look at our body types,
Hmm.
I think we
The
do.
irony, of course, being I could still lift an immense amount more than you.
Well, yeah, you're like 4 times my size.
That's very conservative. Thank you.
Um,
That's
so
I'm like 45 million seconds bigger than you.
uh well, just there's so much injury and our bodies aren't meant to do like yeah, all the hardcore. So anyways, I'm doing these like primal moves things to supplement and it makes all the difference. I've had so much pain, ankle pain, feet pain, back pain. Back pain has been brutal the past little while, like to the point of walking with the cane. But I do these primal moves. It's hard. Like it is better than any hit or Tabata workout
I've
that I've
seen
ever
one of the
done.
guys that does that. He's really well known for it. It's unbelievable what he can do.
My legs are burning. Like I could have hundreds of pounds of weights and my legs do not burn with like this. And with the primal stuff, it's no weights at all.
Yep.
At all.
There's a book that we have in this house that you should read then if you like that.
Well, it's primal eating stuff, right?
No?
Well,
It's a book called Becoming a Supple Leopard.
oh yeah, I saw that book.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's
Oh,
trying replicating the animal kingdom in the terms of they're they can go from nothing, like complete asleep, to bounding on top of something in a split second because of the way that they take care of their bodies and their bodies are set up. And this is essentially doing that. And it's intended to reverse the effects of sitting all day and
yeah.
stationary and stuff. And
Yeah. Makes all the difference and stuff. And I am moving like a gorilla, which is super fun. So it's fun and hard. Like there's never been a workout. Well, even Insanity.
mhm.
Everyone's like, oh my gosh, Insanity with Shanti is so hard. Yeah, it's not. Like I had done the fit
Mhm.
test not too long ago and I beat everyone who was at the end of the program, even just my first week, like coming back to it. But this stuff, it's hard. Like I am modifying, and I know I'm gonna have to go back through several times before I can fully do
Everything.
everything. I've never had a workout.
Which is good because
Yeah.
you I mean, to be fair, you're not the demographic that Insanity and Peanut EX is marketed to.
Who's
You're
it to?
not.
Who's it to? I'm exactly.
No, you're
Who's
not.
it?
You're the people that are kinda either not in good shape at all or just on the verge of
You're
wanting to.
saying that I'm not in good shape?
No, would you listen for a second? What I'm telling you is you're
I'm
exceeding that
very
baseline.
offended.
Why? You're not listening. Like you're
Oh,
deciding to be
okay.
offended as opposed to listening. So
Okay, I'm gonna listen.
continue to be
I'm
offended,
gonna listen.
and I'll explain to the listener what I'm saying. You do all these things that are marketed to people that aren't you, meaning out of all the people that you know, how many have actually in their 40s done a bodybuilding competition and placed second?
Well, I don't know.
I'll put my hand up and answer. It's you. You're the only person.
Okay.
So you're not what those things are marketed for. Those are marketed to people that don't lead as active a lifestyle as you do or make decisions like you do that want to get in better shape. So it is insanely challenging and hard for them. That's not you.
Yeah, I
It just
suppose.
simply isn't you.
So I've just got too low of a bar. That's what I'm hearing.
No, it's just there wasn't anything like you've now found something to challenge yourself,
Yeah.
right? Those are great and they're good for maintenance and they're whatever, but you're a person that doesn't operate well in an average headspace.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, if you don't suffer, it's not worth it, is how you approach things.
Yeah.
Really,
It's true, yeah.
right? So your workouts are
Well,
the exact same. If you don't come out of there feeling like someone beat you with a lead pipe, it's like, well,
in a good way though.
yeah, sure.
You know what? Actually, funny enough, even my bodybuilding stuff, people are like, "Oh my God," like I never even broke a sweat. I was bored. It was too easy. I'm like, really? This is gonna get me to where I need to be. But yeah, that was body. But this is different.
So
Like,
there you go. You found your thing.
yeah,
And eventually this might become a new Peanut EX and you got to find the next thing.
maybe. So
But that's why
anyway,
CrossFitters have strokes while trying to lift past their max
yeah,
because they're always trying to find that next level.
yeah.
Not me though. I'm safe. I'm not going to have an aneurysm from lifting too much weight.
Maybe from the dogs pulling. So you've joined me in the morning on my morning walk with
Mhm.
dogs, which has been lovely.
Mhm.
But they're kind of jerks.
Yeah, we picked 3 dick dogs
Yeah.
for sure. Cute, but I don't know what their issue is with squirrels. But it sucks in the morning when I'm not quite woken up and I'm still kind
Mm.
of stiff. And
Yeah.
then
Puppy's good with squirrels. She has no clue what's going on.
that's because she's a tree stump in terms of intelligence with fur.
She's a smart cookie. She is a smart cookie.
I literally just watched her playing with her chew toy and fell off the couch. There was nothing else around her to cause it. She fell off the couch on her own and then had the audacity to look at me like I did it.
I suppose. But her recall, amazing. It took me no time at all, like 2 trials.
Yes.
For her to stop biting me, it took like 3 trials.
Mhm.
She's smart cookie.
She is a smart cookie, manipulative.
Yeah. Anyway, what's on tap for today, sir?
Well, we talk a lot about um, the state of the world and our opinion of it. So I had the thought of if you were standing in front of a whiteboard and
Yes.
you were about to map out what your idyllic worldview, or let's actually break down. If you were to build a community, not a cult, we're not talking about getting land and going off and doing weird stuff. I'm literally just saying if you were to reshape your idea of what a positive community to be a family or raise a family in, what would that be? And I have some questions along that line to ask you.
Why not getting land and going off? Like, I'm not going to get people to drink Kool-Aid or anything like
That's what
that.
everybody says when they buy the land. And then the next thing you know, a government agency's on your doorstep, you're a militia, never ends well.
Sidestep, just because I got to get it off my mind. So one of our daughters says she would start helping make dinner. One is already consistently, but she's not here tonight. The
Yeah.
other one said she'd like make dinners.
Yeah.
Do you think she's gonna?
Absolutely zero chance. I know I'm making dinner as soon as we finish recording this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent job. On the same note, none of them have followed through with consistently doing the other things we said that we're tired of asking them to do every day without being asked. So bar, not high.
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right. You ready for your
Well,
first question?
readdress that. Oh yeah, so I don't have to like free recall an
No,
answer
I'll
right
give
now.
you a question
Okay.
and you give me
Cool.
what you feel the basis of it will be.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So starting with what values would be at the heart of your ideal community for raising children?
Oh man, see, I need a list of what the values.
Let's
Because
just,
there'd
what are
be
the
so
top
many.
three that pop to mind?
But there's so
No, you
many.
gotta, this is about finding your niche.
I think, oh man, no, like I need to plan this out and like research and have like 50
No,
million
you don't.
values that I could then zero down on.
So
My
to my
answers are going
earlier
to change.
comment
I
about
know.
you needing to be like, if for it to be painful for you to see value in it, we don't need to apply that to this. First thing that comes to mind.
Well, family.
No, family's not a value.
No, I know, but the value of like, I guess gratitude,
Okay.
really. When I try to, yeah, define, it'd be gratitude. And I guess it's connectedness. So the value in that would just be, it all comes back to gratitude, doesn't it? Gratitude. And when we're grateful, we support, right? Like we're not, we turn the me to we kind of thing.
I heard a great quote from Michael J. Fox, of all people, and I don't know where he got it from, but someone was asking about how he approaches life given what he's dealing with Parkinson's, right? Or MS. I think it's MS, right?
Parkinson's.
Is it Parkinson's?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, but what he said was, with gratitude, optimism is sustainable. So
Yeah.
just kind of fights in that.
Like gratitude really it doesn't matter how crappy any situation is. If we find gratitude, there's like purpose, right? And we're mindful and like all the bad things. I think that's a crux of even just looking at mental health now. Like if we can practice gratitude,
Mhm.
that's sort of the basis for everything.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I would add, I would add accountability and responsibility potentially.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that
Well,
as a negative. I
explain
mean
more.
it as gratitude is great, and I agree with that. I think as part of a community that is of shared values, you have a responsibility to adhere to that. You have a responsibility to do certain things that benefit the many, not the single, right?
Mhm.
That's where I would come from with that, and be accountable for how you approach those situations.
So I wonder if integrity would
Sure.
kind of encapsulate those
Sure.
pieces.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm sure there's more.
Okay, but and again, there's no right or wrong. This is just more of a conversation. So, what kinds of spaces or places would you create to support families and kids?
See, this is where we need a big piece of land, man. We just need
Again,
the outdoors.
sure, we can start with
Forest,
forest.
creek.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
lots of adventure, like to go and explore.
okay,
Maybe a quicksand pit
why would you do that?
because it's fun.
It's not fun.
Oh,
As a child that had a near death experience with a quicksand,
and you escaped and were the hero of your own story. We need
was
more of
I?
that. Well, I don't know. But okay, so there's a great, and I know we've talked about this, there's a great clip on Sesame Street where they're playing Follow the Leader. It's from the 60s, which is now rated R, which is mind-boggling to me, but it's literally kids playing Follow the Leader. And they were going through like, you know, those water calverts, like those little pipes
Mhm.
that you go through that kids like can get trapped in. Yeah, no, they're going through that. They're going through junkyards. They're going through construction zones, like just places for kids to explore and adventure and take risks. And it all happens outside. Remember we went to Jamaica?
Mhm.
Did you come? Oh, you didn't come with us.
No, because it was dangerous and it was a dumb decision, so I stayed on the resort.
Yeah, literally the security is like, you cannot leave. And like, we're not prisoners here. You cannot force us to stay. But anyway, so we left and we went to this family's home and there was like 3 or 4 generations of family living there.
Mhm.
Like literally really, really elderly people sitting in rocking chairs who couldn't get up by themselves, all the way down to little toddlers waddling around. And they all lived on this huge piece of land.
Mhm.
There was rusted, junky construction vehicles that were grown over. Like they had one sort of porta potty. It wasn't even a porta potty. It was like this cement block outhouse. And then they each had their corrugated little huts where they had beds. And that was it. They didn't have stuff, right? They didn't have running water, they didn't have electricity, everything was outdoors, they had a garden. I mean, we don't have to go that extreme.
I was hoping you'd say that. Yeah.
We don't have to go that extreme, but they were happy. Those kids are happy. I remember going to Fiji. That was probably not that I loved Fiji the most out of anywhere in terms of the location, but I did love the kids so much because they were so happy. They had nothing. They didn't even have shoes on their feet, and they were running around in raggedy clothes and but so happy. And they did. They had family. Like I just, when we go anywhere, Italy, remember we went
Mhm.
to Italy? Everyone was outside of their door talking with neighbors, like huge groups, all the neighbors outside talking. Kids are running around in the street. Like, yeah, that. So outside is a big piece where kids can
And
explore.
shared space, it sounds like, as
Yeah,
well, right?
yeah,
Communal space that everybody can kind of hang out in.
yeah. What was the question?
Oh my God.
Well, I just,
What kinds of spaces or places would you create to support families and kids?
yeah, I would do that. Yeah,
All right.
that would be the basis. I know we have talked a lot about, like rec centers and things like that, but we don't even need to get that fancy. It's literally get outside, shared spaces, play, adventure, kids. Yeah.
Done. Very
With
nice.
like-minded families. I mean, that's a key piece. Well, right now, our daughter went to the mall. She took transit, C train to go to the mall. Her friends, she was supposed to go with, her parents said absolutely not,
Yeah.
right? Not allowed to go. So that makes it hard for her to go and explore. She did find another friend to go. So surrounding ourselves with like-minded people,
Yeah.
because that's the thing, when our kids can go together and do those things, it's way better.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then there's less restrictions too, right? They're more willing and apt to go do different things. All right. How would neighbors support one another in parenting and daily life?
So this is when I look at Hunt, Gather, Parent, that book, if you guys haven't heard me talk about it, it's so great, right? It really reinforces the idea that we don't actually have intuitive knowledge on how to parent. I think somewhere along the way, people said that, like, you should just intuitively know. No, we don't.
Yeah.
And when we look back through hunter-gatherer societies, it was elders, right? It was the generations of women who would come in and help with nursing and when you go to these indigenous um, communities around the world, you don't know whose kid is yours, right? Like you
Mhm.
might think that that kid belongs to that person, but later on find out it totally wasn't. Like it was like the neighbor's auntie's grandma or something like that, right? Like just, and I see that, I mean, even in northern BC, when I used to go up there to do assessments, it was often not the parents who were bringing them in. It was literally like aunties, neighbors,
Mhm.
friends, grandma who would bring the kids in, right? And so I think that that's a piece. Sorry, what's the question?
Oh my goodness.
I just want to make sure I'm answering.
How would neighbors support one another in parenting and daily life?
Yeah, so that's it, right? It's getting together. The kids are getting together. The kids are largely solving conflicts and, picking each other up when they fall down while the neighbors are supporting each other. Maybe it's building their mud hut or, helping with cooking and cleaning and all of that kind of stuff. So it really is more this sort of communal neighborhood and community where you've got that, right? Where you're
Mhm.
supporting and kids are coming and going and asking whichever adult is there for help if they need to, if they haven't figured it all out already.
All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What role would schools, you've kind of already touched on this next part.
Would you add anything to any of these questions so far?
No, they're pretty comprehensive. Yeah, no, that all makes sense. I think from a parent, like a neighbor's perspective, yeah, it's that's what I mean when I said earlier about the responsibility and accountability. That's part of it, right? Like stepping up and offering support and assistance wherever it's needed because it's for the betterment of everybody, right? Or so that's kind of where I was coming from with that. What role would schools, parks, and local businesses play in your community vision?
Schools, parks, and local businesses. Well, parks obviously
Yeah,
would
you
be a
already
big
touched on that.
piece
Yeah.
of that. Schools, Can we abolish schools? Is that a thing?
Now we're really stepping into like malicious territory, like ceding from the country and the government. So, I mean, sure. The answer is yeah.
I mean, we need
Will
to.
it end well? No.
Okay, is it Captain Fantastic with
I think so.
what's his name?
Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant kids.
Hmm.
They're not uneducated kids.
Hmm.
They're quite insight. So that everyone go watch that movie, Captain Fantastic. That's how we should raise our kids. Spearing fish in the river.
I don't know if you paid attention to all the parts of the movie. There was a lot of not great parts about that life too.
Oh, well, they were educated. But I mean, it's fun. Looking at the education piece, I mean, they did homeschool, which I know I couldn't do. I would probably eat my children. There's a reason why some mothers eat her offspring, and that would be I'm not a homeschooler. But there is a better way. What we've got right now is it's just not it.
Hmm.
And so looking at the Finland model of education, I mean, there is a place of traditional learning foundational skills because inquiry based isn't it for everything, but inquiry based really does have a good foundation. So we need to follow our kids' interests. How do we tap into their interests, right? Or at least find like there might be some things they're not going to be interested in all things that they need to learn.
Yeah.
But how do we tap into their motivation and interest or find maybe it's not the topic that's interesting, but ways that they like learning, right? And so it's just showing more flexibility and giving them more ownership over their spaces in school, of their learning. Like those types of things are really helpful. There's actually a student right now that I'm working with in high school. I didn't even know some high schools do this. But so one of her English classes, like there's different streams of English. I know Maya's high school didn't have this. So hers is English, but with a focus on feminine studies and like socialism and
Hmm.
stuff, or social justice issues, right? So there's different types of streams. I know that there was another high school student that I worked with who's doing English, but a film stream. So
Hmm.
he's writing scripts and, things like that. And so those kinds of options and thinking outside the box are really important and moving it outside. There's a great, I'm sure if you just YouTubed, I don't even know, kindergarten, I don't even know. There's a Japanese kindergarten though, or a school. It's not just the kindergarten. They just highlighted the kindergarten class,
Hmm.
but the school was open concept. I mean, here in Canada, it would be hard in the winter to be outdoors. So they did have structures inside, but it was mostly largely open air. And it was a circle. So if kids run, well, they can run as much as they want, but they're going to end up back at their classroom because it's just one big circle. But it's open and they will run in like they did track this one kindergarten. He would go to the grade 6 class and hang out and run over here and run over there. And about 20 minutes of running around in the circle and just checking out other classes, he came and sat back down in his class and stayed there for the rest of the day and continued learning. So just a little bit more autonomy.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's a good call. And I think part of the issue is well, I won't go down this rabbit hole, but I think realistically, the current structure for our education system is very rigid and very budgetary driven. And
Yeah.
so it doesn't really offer a lot of options. I think teachers do their best a lot of times with what they're given, but at the same time, there's constant pressure for outcome as
Mhm.
opposed to education and learning,
And
right?
process, yeah.
Yeah. Follow the process, do what you need to do. All right. What safety or mental health supports would be essential for kids and parents in your idyllic community?
I don't think any are needed
All right, next
because
question.
yeah, no, like if we set things up properly, there isn't anything needed. Kids are resilient and they're learning. I mean, part of that community piece would also, it's not just neighbors, it's also our kids. How do we rely on kids,
Mhm.
right? Like there's this one researcher who did go to different countries and he's like, it's just in Western civilization that kids aren't given important jobs, but you go anywhere else and parents are running their family business. And then you see the other kids, little kids, attending to like they're watching out. So generations of these kids are watching out for other kids, or they're helping run the family business, or they're helping, and
Mhm.
so it's incorporating kids. So that's just another piece. If kids have important jobs and are truly involved in those types of things, that's helpful. But I don't think that we need to have those things. Now, if there are severe neurodevelopmental disorders, things where there is extra support is needed just in terms of managing emotional dysregulation and those types of things, certainly we can put those into place. But for the most part, I would say for the general population, we wouldn't actually need anything. And safety, like what kind of safety are you thinking? I'm thinking
I think
people
against
just
the,
need to,
I think realistically against the government and their attempts to try and change your way of life on this new idyllic paradise you've built.
yeah.
I think there is still like if you have like-minded people within the community, the policing and the or security or safety isn't going to isn't going to be the same as what we'd expect to be today, right? Where everything is sanitized and everything is, you know, there's very low risk and very, very little need for someone to actually really put much thought into their own safety in most situations. You're saying safety is the responsibility of the individual as they learn and move around this place. They'll determine what's safe and what's not, but not necessarily
Well,
the police sense of safety.
oh yeah, no, I wasn't thinking about that. No, and I was thinking about like, do we need to put up baby gates? No, absolutely not. They're stupid.
The babies or the
The
gates? Okay.
gates. We never put up baby gates
Sure
ever,
didn't.
or any of that baby proofing stuff. Kids have got to learn. We've got baby gates now. It's funny now that our kids are like grown up and almost out of the house. Now we have baby gates for the dogs.
Yes.
They have not learned.
No. They are dumb as doorknobs.
Well, it's more just to give us space
Yeah.
so that they're not getting into our stuff. But anyway, yeah, no, like that kind of stuff. Certainly foundational. I mean, babies started surviving when doctors washed their hands before
Mhm.
delivering babies. I mean, there's basic health protocols. Wash your hands before you eat, probably a good idea,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no, I wasn't even really thinking about
Where would technology fit into your idyllic community?
nowhere.
At all.
If we're being completely idealistic,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have technology,
Period.
period.
How would you communicate with the rest of the world?
Why would you? Have a little courier run from village to village.
This is some M. Night Shyamalan stuff going on here.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Like going back to that hunter-gatherers. Why would we need to communicate with the rest of the world?
So you're not about globalist ideal like viewpoints. I'm kidding.
I don't think so. Like to have the ideal, I mean, it's about I mean, there are benefits of technology, and I do love like travel. Well, right now I'm burned out from traveling, so maybe that's why I'm just like, no, take it back to the basics. But I think we need to, as a species, re-experience that again because it's this constant need for connection elsewhere that we're forgetting about what's happening right here in front of us, right?
Mhm.
And we're getting disconnected from the moment. Right now, this moment is the only moment that we're promised. And so I think we need to be here now with this moment.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
How would we continue to perform a podcast if technology was not allowed in our idyllic community? Would you and I sit in the middle of the communal area and just talk to each other like idiots?
Around the fireplace. Yeah. We would be the storytellers, engagers.
We might actually have a bigger audience if we did that.
Totally.
All right.
Totally.
Okay.
I mean, maybe music, but but no, like we could be creating our own music.
So that leads into the next question, which you've already touched on, but it's the final question to kind of tie it all together.
Well, what do you think about technology? What would you think is important?
Well, considering I spent a large amount of time last week looking at something called a dumb phone and almost bought one, I think I'm at the end of my, and it's hilarious because I work in technology. Like that's the business I'm in. I think technology is the greatest tool and the greatest prison that we have created for ourselves.
Yeah.
It has the ability to do so much, and yet um, it has been taken beyond what is probably healthy in a lot of situations. And all of these attempts to create a healthy relationship with technology at certain levels is driven by the wrong ideas
Yeah.
at times. That said, I think and I mean this more at like on a day-to-day level, technology is so infused into what we do. I enjoy it. I like to see what's possible. I like the creativity that it brings. Where I struggle is the manipulation of technology that modifies people's behavior and their interactions with each other in the world. That's where, and in a negative way, right?
And that's all it is. Like
Yeah.
all of these developers, they know, well, I've talked about it before. I mean, the biggest teams of neuroscientists, researchers are those who develop apps and games and right
Yeah, the
to keep
predatory
us
use of
addicted.
it,
Yeah.
like, and that's the thing. I think there are, I mean, I have to be somewhat aware of the hypocrisy of what I'm saying because again, I work in technology and my business is selling technology and supporting technology. So I see the benefits of what it can do at a large scale. I find when it is used to manipulate people in a negative manner, that's where I have a lot of challenges with it,
Yeah.
right? And where I do crave some of the like the convenience of technology robs you of the enjoyment of the process of a more analog experience and a more analog and interaction with the world, right? So,
I just think it disrupts. I mean, screens we've talked ad nauseum about. Actually, I'm doing a course right now, like I'm the presenter. It's a month-long course that's up and running for social workers, but also pediatricians, psychiatrists, and everyone right now is just feeling so overwhelmed because there's so many yeah buts. We know screens are a problem for our kids, but parents just aren't, like they're the biggest barriers. But all this to say, I mean, I just see it robbing critical thinking. But even that 50 million minutes thing, right? If it was Maya and I years ago, we would have sat down and done the math in our head. We kind of roughly guesstimated, Willow and I, but ultimately it was, hey Google,
yeah,
how much is right? And so like, and that's it. It's just, hey Google, we've got a question. We're not thinking about it and wondering about it and getting curious about it and hypothesizing,
yeah,
and
it's
that's
the
it.
Wally effect.
Yeah. I do love like, hey, I need to fix my fridge. Eh, Let's go on YouTube. You can fix anything. Well, even that lock, that screw lock, cam lock or
Hmm.
whatever. I'm taking apart Willow's bed. Okay, how do we take out this cam lock, right?
Yep.
And we look, so that's good, but we never tried and problem solved and failed and tried again. And that's part of an important part of development too. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
No, I would agree. Um, I think you've already touched on this. I don't know that we really need to answer, but the final question was, how would your community nurture independence, creativity, and resilience? And you've already kind of talked about that and just this basic structure of it. So I'll modify that to be, what are the other components that we haven't touched on that you feel would be important in this idyllic community?
Well, I do, I mean, I implied this, but maybe to make it explicit is to give kids, and I'm just thinking for
Yep.
kids' optimal development,
Yep.
really having space and autonomy to use their time, right? And even if there is structured learning time, or maybe not even structured, but set learning time, that they have the freedom to explore and to learn and, you know,
Hmm.
hypothesize and, do all of those things. And I think it does have to be a little bit more child-led in terms of not teachers trying to fill kids' brains with information.
Yeah.
It's here's a concept, go explore it, hypothesize about it, figure it out, and come back and we're going to talk about it, right? Like that kind of stuff. I think that's important. I do think fun,
Hmm.
like there's got to be fun in there. And how do we do that? And it doesn't have to be going like I find lately we are really talking about like, oh, let's go do this laser tag or let's go do the speeders, car racing, and that's fun. But what about just climbing a tree and playing cops and robbers and
Hmm.
capture the flag? And well, I love the cabin for that,
Yeah.
right? All the kids, it doesn't matter how young or old they are, totally into stuff like capture the flag and just outside all the time.
Yeah.
So just kind of going back to basics. We don't need stuff. We don't need stuff. Just basic sort of essentials. Um, I don't know. I'm sure there's more. Pets need more pets.
Do we?
Yeah.
Do we really?
Where they can run free. I hate
Where they
having
can
them
run
on
away, where they
leashes.
can run away and be like, ah, bye Oakland Dios, puppy.
They'll come back. They've always.
That is the key problem with our arrangement,
I love that. See, I love the cabin that they. I know you don't like them running free, but I like them running free. They go.
I'm okay with them running free in certain areas, but we have seen an increase at the cabin in people that don't have a sense of humor, and it becomes a problem.
I know.
So we have to manage that,
They're usually fine. It's when people come in front of our property.
which
That's the problem.
happens a lot. Anyway,
So we just need a property away from people where they can run and be free.
it all comes back to you having your own militia space, doesn't it?
Malicious space.
Militia.
Oh,
What
no.
would the name of your new country be?
Well, I keep coming back to Antarctica because then there's like
No, that's already taken.
no rules and laws and stuff. Just
But
not so cold.
that name's already
No,
taken.
no, not for the name, but I think that would be amazing just to have that. There's no government rule over anything. You could just do your thing. Just it's cold, so I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, so that's a big drawback for you. You were freezing on our walk this morning.
I do like constant sun though. That'd be good.
There you go.
My new place, oh man, I don't even know. I would have to think. I can't think on the spot. I'm too stuffy right now.
I get you. It's a big responsibility. You can't have a lame country name.
No, what would you call it?
I don't know, actually. I have to give it some thought.
Yeah.
Rancho Relaxo from The Simpsons.
Yeah, I know exactly what that was from. And it's stupid.
Tell that to The Simpsons, the longest running cartoon of all time. That's fine.
Is it?
Yeah. Dude, it debuted when we were in like
That's
elementary school,
true. That's true.
and we're old,
Yeah.
as our children like to remind us.
I feel like it was later than elementary.
Junior high, then.
Junior high, maybe. Yeah.
Hey, Google. Oh, okay. All right,
All
good
right.
day.
Good day.